So Satou Sabally has officially said that she is gone. She is not coming back to the Dallas Wings, which I thought was interesting because I did think that with Satou, with her, Paige Becker's likely going to go to the Wings. With Satou, with Enrique Gambawale, they could have been a really good team. But obviously, with the fact that with the season pretty much still going on, it had just finished by the time that Natasha Howard had said she was not going to, she was basically not going to go to, well, stay at Dallas. There must be something going on with the Dallas Wings. So, obviously, Satou said that with Unrivaled. As you guys can see here, WNBA free agent Satou Sabally declares time with the Wings is done. Look, the Wings aren't going to give her up for nothing. She'll be courted and traded. Same thing that happened with Skylar Diggins when she played for the Wings. They courted her, they traded her. And see here, January 7 article by Annie Constable wrote, there's understanding around the league that Satou will be on the move after the Wings make her core play this weekend when GMs can be sending qualifier offers and core tags. Fan base around the league have been salivating the prospect of acquiring Sabally. Sabally, who was the number 2 pick at the 2020 draft. She did come out after her junior season, so I think she is a little bit younger. I think she might be born in 1998, so she's a year younger than Sabrina Ionescu was, who was in that draft. And she said, I've already communicated with Dallas how grateful I am because they've made this a home for me the past years I've worked with the Wings to get, or I'm working with the Wings to find a next home because I've already played my last game in Dallas. And when asked if she liked to play with her sister Niara, Sabally said, yes, of course, in the future, I would love that. Which means, look, I think it's likely that Satou Sabally is going to be, that she's going to be playing for the New York Liberty next season, which will absolutely destroy anything. So let's react to some of the comments on Reddit about this. And like, it is realistically the Fever or the Liberty. It's one of those two. Sorry that one Dallas fan on Twitter is convinced she wouldn't leave. Breaking news, she's announced she's moved on from Dallas. Not shocked, the Wings had decent draft prospects the last few years. None of them have flourished to compliment Satou in the court. That's true, because they did have Suarez, who was the 4th pick, I think, in 2023. They had Lou Lopez-Seneschal, who's barely played as a rookie. Like, she was a, 26-year-old rookie and barely played. Then there's, like, they had a Wakuir in whatever draft. She was number 2. 2021 doesn't really count, but still. If she goes to New York, it's over for the league. It's not even fair. Yep. Came out during Unrival's press conference. She's been super friendly with all Liberty players, but Dallas for sure cores her. What team is a package worthy of Satou? Betting New York. The reality of the situation is that, yeah, I do think, look, first of all, it's basically the German national team in the WNBA. You have Fibic, Satou, Niara. So you've got those 3 players. Who says Satou's stock is not as high as it is made out to be. Dallas probably cores and trader, obviously. Guessing Brooklyn or Indiana. But like, that's the reality situation is that, like, it's going to be really tough. It's going to be tough for, like, Satou's going to go where she wants, but I don't think it's going to be like I'm only going to this team. Like, it says she's working with Dallas to see where she wants to go. I think it's going to be a situation where it's like Dallas don't have to get rid of her. Like, they don't. They can core her, and they can core her for another year. Like, they can keep her till 2027. Like, obviously, nobody's ever... The only team that I can remember trying to do that was the Mystics last year, not... Lena Deladon just said, nah, I'm not playing. So, yeah, with Satou, I think... It probably comes down to... I think she'd be happy to go to the Fever. I think she'd be happy to go to the Liberty. And I have a weird feeling... I have a really weird feeling she'll be happy to go to the Sky. Just purely because I think with Satou knows that there's a lot of like outside of basketball things when it comes to her. That like she has the ability to make a lot of money outside of ball. And she's looking at the situations where she could do that. Obviously, I think her preferences would go Liberty 1, Indiana 2, and Chicago 3. But I think of all 3 of those teams, realistically, the best trade package is going to come from Chicago. 3-10 and another first round pick for Satou. And then suddenly you're looking like potentially if you are the Dallas Wings going out next season with JC Sheldon, Paige Beckers, Arike Gumbawale, Kiki Iriafen, and Tiara McCowan, with Maddie Seager there on the bench, if not Seager starting and Sheldon off the bench. And with that 10th pick, you can try to bring in a scorer like a Van Lit. You can go giant and get Sedona Prince. With Indiana, you get the 8th pick for Satou, and you probably get the 8th Nalissa Smith and either a 2026 first or Grace Berger. And that means that they go out next season probably with, honestly, I think Grace Berger would start the 1 on that team, to be honest. I think it would probably go Grace Berger. Maybe I'm just high on Grace Berger, but I would think it would go Grace Berger, Arike, Paige Becker's kind of off the ball a bit, because I think she can kind of play a bit of both. And then you've got Nalissa Smith and Tiara McCowan, which is a bit of a worse team. Or obviously, then you can start Paige, JC, or Segrist or something, and then you can work something around that. Or if you're the Liberty, you can give up Markeisha Davis, who is an athlete. You've got the likes of Han Zhu, who's hooping over in China. You've got Maureen Johannes. And people don't realize the assets the Liberty actually have. Like, the Liberty have incredible assets as far as their just people that aren't currently in the WNBA. They have a lot of these assets and maybe don't want to come over now. As well as that, like, I rate Kennedy Burke quite highly, like Jalen Sherrod. Was Sherrod's place name, isn't she? Yeah, like, they have young assets. They have the ace that is Maureen Johannes. If Johannes is happy to come over and play in Dallas, Johannes is the best player any of these teams can offer. And as well as having Maureen Johannes, they've got the 7th pick. They've got a better pick than Indiana, so they can offer better draft capital and probably the better players, especially if Dallas don't consider Nalissa Smith to be a positive asset. If they're just like, you know what, we actually don't want her on the team, then the best trade package is the Liberty. I still think that would be our preference because New York is still New York. Yes, it's not the Indiana Fever, but it's still New York. She's playing with Sabrina. She gets to play with her sister. She plays with Fibic, who she plays for with the German national team. And it's as good as guaranteed a championship. It would break the league, to be completely honest. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I think Satou, if you're asking me where she's going to go, I think it's going to be New York Liberty. I would say if you were to ask me for my percentage chances, I would say 20% Sky, purely because the Sky have the best offer that they could give Dallas. I would say 30% Fever, and I'll go 50% Liberty. I'll go 29% Fever, 51% Liberty. So it's more likely Liberty than the rest. I have the Fever the second best chance, but I think if she's okay going to the Sky have the best package, so she's going to go to the Sky. But yeah, that is pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and if Satou Sabally goes to the Liberty, no team should make a win now move because the Liberty are walking the championship next season. Let's be real.